Hello YouTube, how you guys doing today? I was away from home for almost 2 months, just a little bit shy of 2 months, like less than a week. And I'm finally home. I was able to drive home last night. I pulled in the house like 2:30 in the morning, and it's still pretty early here. But I'm just so excited. Number one, I was excited to see my family. I love my family. Hate being away from them for work, but hey, sometimes, that's how you pay the bills. But anyhow, I am so happy to be back in my comic book room. I missed it. And I had a giant pile of comics waiting for me whenever I got here. And I chose this video to put up here because if you guys have never watched the YouTube channel Genome Presents, check it out. Genome Presents. GENNONP Presents, okay? He is on here, and he does not like unboxing videos, which I kind of chuckle. So I was thinking of you, Genome Presents, whenever I decided to make this video. And without any further ado, let's get working on it. So I don't want this to be a commercial for G-Mart Comics, but I get my pull list through G-Mart Comics. There's actually a brick and mortar store. They're out of the Chicago area. I think there's like 2, maybe 3 stores. But anyhow, they offer an excellent subscription service, and they will mail my books to me for free. And they like to throw in little extras every now and then. I'm a big fan of being a customer of G-Mart Comics. It's G-Mart. And again, I don't know why I do that. I don't get paid by them, but hey, sometimes you just got to give a shout out to people that you appreciate. So, without further ado, let's get started. I got Thor number 5 right here. Now, this is the 3rd printing. And I've talked about this before, I was so late to the Donny Cates game. The guy just puts out fire books. And it was just never a title that I ever collected. I never read. I'm stuttering here, but forgive me. But like Thanos. I never bought Thanos books before. He's had multiple series. And yes, if he was in a series that I was already reading, yes, I would buy it. But I never went to look for a Thanos. Yeah, Thanos is like, he did such a great job on that. And then he was doing a great job on Venom. And then great job on Thor. And I have jumped in on the Thor game, but I was a little late for Venom. Now I got to backtrack and pick up some of those books. But now I put everything Donny Cates writes on my pull list. That's just a bar none. I don't want to miss out to Magic. And probably the funny thing is, all of his hits are going to be books that I have to go back and pay full collector's price for. Whereas I could have just got in the game and all these books going forward, yeah, no, my luck, they'll all be duds. Oh, so anyhow, yeah, that's a lot of talking. And here's another Thor number 4, 2nd printing. The first cover appearance of Black Winter. Don't really know much about that character. I haven't read these books yet. Variant cover, Thor number 3. And you guys know that I'm a Conan fan. So here's 2 covers of Conan. And Battle for the Serpent Crown number 5. I love my Conan books. And Darth Vader. This is a book I'm going to give to Spencer. This is Darth Vader number 5. This is a variant cover. And this is his main cover. I also subscribed and put Darth Vader on my pull list. So I have 2 of all of the Darth Vader books. One for me, one for him. And here's a reprint of Walking Dead number 1. I'd rather have the original, but hey, sometimes I like the dollar reprints. DC puts out some. Marvel, they put out their True Believers, and they're $1. And sometimes you can get a classic cover for $1. And I kind of like having them in there. And even if I have the original cover, original copy, I still like having a reprint, just for display purposes. Reprint, Snot Girl number 1. Here's another one. I wish I had the original. Saga number 1. And again, $1 reprint. ASM 48, 2 covers. This is a series. Donny Cates, please take over. ASM, please. I'm sure he'll never see this video, but hey, in the crazy world that he ever does, he will see me pleading. Take over ASM. Oh, it was the third printing of Thor number 4. I told you. Now I have all of the second, third, and subsequent cover swipes on the Thor series. Thor number 4th printing. Thor number 3. Third printing. Thor number 1. And if you were a kid growing up in the early 80s and 70s too, you remember watching Ultraman, which is like one of the coolest TV shows ever. Well, Alex Ross, he did a cover for Ultraman number 1. I saw that in Previews magazine. Had to get it. 2 covers of ASM 47. And these books are literally in 0 order whatsoever. Just kind of how I pulled it out of the box. 4th printing, Thor number 2. And Dr. Aphra number 3. This is one of Spencer's titles. He's a good kid. He does a lot of work around the house, and that's kind of, part of his allowance. Spawn number 309. I'm a giant Spawn fan. Actually, I have a friend, okay, some of you guys know her. She Spawn, 1992. Speaking of, she is probably the biggest Spawn fan in the entire wide world. She did this cover art, okay, this is going to be a gift for somebody. And, yeah, those weren't related, but speaking of Spawn fans, she's by far the biggest Spawn fan in the entire world. Spawn 309, Spawn the Gunslinger cover. And here's an homage to Frank Frazetta, the Death Dealer. Now this is Spawn 309, but it's such a cool cover. If anyone's ever seen that original painting, it's a masterpiece. I'd like to get a print of that. I don't know where I put it, somewhere in this room, but yeah, that guy, he put out some incredible art over there. Detective Comics 1026. And this is such a cool cover. Batman, 3 Jokers, number 1. But I noticed this before. Gmart Comics. And again, this is not a commercial. They don't pay me. In fact, every one of these books I paid full price for. Well, they do give you a discount. But anyhow, they always throw in little extras. And I don't know if you guys can see that playing card of Joker. And I didn't order that. They just threw that in there. Much, much appreciated. And Batman Superman number 11. This is again, this is a title that Spencer subscribes to. And again, that poor kid, we have a little farm here, a little hobby farm. He has to do a lot of work around the farm, so he earns all of his books. I learned years ago, don't give people anything. Give them the ability to earn it. So hopefully that's my parenting lesson that I'm passing down. Hopefully. We'll see how this works. All right. Here is, this was an A-OK from a friend of mine. Here's Deathstroke, number 1. And here is Henry Gray's and the Autumn Lilies. This is a signed copy. You can it's kind of hard to see. There is a signature in there. Iron Fist, number 1. It's a one-shot. Now, a very famous YouTuber. If anyone recognizes the Red Gibbon tape, you know where this came from. And here, I love this. I don't know, the person who sent this to me, I don't know if they know this, but I'm a huge Prince fan. He always put out great, incredible music, and he spanned a lot of genres in music. Honestly, one of my all-time favorite artists. This is an homage to the Prince Purple Rain cover. Love this Ghost Rider number 1. I'm not used to speaking this long, you can tell. But Venom, second printing, Venom number 27. Yeah, I got a little scratch there in my throat, a little itch. A little bit better. All right. Here's my favorite Spider-Verse character. Miles Morales, number 18. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, number 18. Black Widow, number 1. And Darth Vader, number 5. There should be another one of these books in here somewhere. Or maybe I showed it. I can't remember. But Spencer gets one, I get one. All right. Amazing Spider-Man and the Sins of Norman Osborn. Number 1. And here's a variant cover of this. Yeah, this one's the variant. The other one's the original title. Thor number 7, first printing. And here's a book that came out last month that I loved, but I couldn't remember if I put it on my pull list. Okay, this is Iron Man number 1, Virgin cover by Alex Ross. I love this cover, and I was wondering, did I get this? I almost bought it separate. So glad I didn't. In the back of my head, I'm like, I love that cover so much. I would have, tried to get it. So I kind of thought that I did. But Immortal Hulk number 0. Super great series. All right, you guys know that I am a Conan fan, and I have a hard time not picking up every variant cover of a book. If it's in my collection, I'm a completist. It frustrates my wallet, but I still do it. So anyhow, you guys will see. This is Cimmerian, People of the Black Circle, number 1. Now, Ablaze Studio, the people that put out the Cimmerian title, they put on an Instagram post, and it was a very nice one. They put on all the covers on there, and they put the artist, a little bit of information about the artist, and they had a blank variant. And me with my corny dad jokes. Of course, I'm going to write onto their Instagram post in the comments, but you never wrote who the artist was for the blank cover. Thankfully, they knew that it was a joke, and they responded, in kind with, a little laughing emoji. But that's my little Conan story, and talking to the publishers there on Ablaze Studios. At least I think it's Ablaze Studios. If it isn't, I've been calling them that forever, but Ablaze, okay? Here's another variant of that book. Cimmerian, People of the Black Circle, number 1. There's a Batman homage. Or cover swipe. Listen, if I say homage whenever it's really cover swipe and I say vice versa, forgive me. I have no idea what the difference is. Isn't it both just redoing an old cover? But hey, who knows? Okay, here's another cover. And yet again, one more. Honestly, it would bother my OCD, which I really don't have OCD, but it would really bother my comic collecting obsessiveness if I didn't have every cover. Speaking of, I have a bunch here. Maestro number 1. It's actually Marvel Tales. This is a square bound edition. I have more of those. Invincible number 1. Free comic book day. Venom 27. I'm getting near the end. I was away for almost 2 months, guys. So it adds up, my pull list. ASM 46. Darth Vader, 2 copies. Darth Vader number 4. Such a dope series. Free comic book day. Hillbilly. The Lizard of Rusty Creek Cave. Had to pick it up. Well, I need a drink of water almost. But anyhow, I don't get my free comic book days books for free from Gmart Comics. I have to pay a quarter, but I'm sure that's what they have to pay, so it all evens out. Gung Ho number 7. I have a few covers of Gung Ho number 7. Yep. Original cover, one of the variant covers. I'll talk about some of those. Detective Comics 1025. Now, I was talking about me being a completist, okay? Of all of the Conan comics that were printed by Marvel from 1970 all the way up into the early 2000s, I have every single one. I have every single variant cover. I have them all. Except, well, I won't say it because I've noticed there's a trend here. If I mention a book that I'm looking for on YouTube, it seems to show up in the mail. And I'll be honest with you, it always makes me feel guilty because this isn't like a solicitation for people to send me books. I do appreciate it. I like, truly, honestly, I absolutely, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate it. But it just makes me feel bad. So, anyhow, this is one of the handful of Dark Horse Conan books that I didn't have. This is Conan the Barbarian #3. This was a variant cover that I just didn't have at the time. And I picked it up. So my very short list of Dark Horse books from, I think they started 2003 up till 2018. They had the rights. There's a handful that I don't have. Well, that handful is one less, all right? Here's a second printing of Venom #26. And here is a third printing of Venom #25. I don't know why Carnage is attacking a dinosaur. I have no idea. A venomized dinosaur at that. But hey, who doesn't like dinosaurs? Who doesn't like T-Rex? Okay, so honestly, just go with it. This is a homage or cover swipe. I don't know. Or no, this is a facsimile. Ha! There's a different word. Anyhow, here's a facsimile cover of Spider-Man #1. This came out in 1990. Todd McFarlane wrote it. Now, whenever I first started getting into comics in the early 2000s, I was drawn by Conan, but I always loved Spider-Man. So I started reading Spider-Man books. This series, written by Todd McFarlane in the early 90s, was one of those first series books that I read. This is one of the reasons that I got into collecting comics, because it was just such a fun series to read. And Todd McFarlane's one of those characters that, every comic book collector fan knows who Todd McFarlane is, but his name and his brand transcends the comic community, and it's just in pop culture. Everyone knows who Todd McFarlane is. I knew who Todd McFarlane was as a non-comic book collector. And so whenever I found out he wrote this, I read it and loved it. So, Todd, thanks. You might have helped me with this hobby, getting this hobby started for me. Thor #6. A lot of Thors. All right, Maestro. There's a lot of these Maestro #1s, okay? Maestro #1. Love it. Maestro is not one of those books that I collect. In fact, he's a character that's been around for a while. But this current series, it just showed up. I just really like the cover, so I wanted to get them. Now this cover. This is a homage to one of my all-time favorite covers, Jim Steranko. Hulk Annual #1 from 1968, okay? This is a homage to that cover, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about that in a little bit here. Here is the main cover for Maestro #1, and Conan, Battle for the Serpent Crown #4. 2 covers of that. And Batman #97. This is a Joker War tie-in I have. Now, that was my books from G-Mark Comics that were waiting for me, okay? 2 months worth of pull lists. I have a comic book addiction. Hi, I'm Matt, and I'm a comic book addict. So, 12-step program for me, okay? I'm going to need it. Joking, I really don't have an addiction. Or OCD. I need to quit saying that kind of stuff. Because there are people that actually suffer from such things, and me making light of it, I'm not making light of anyone on purpose, I promise you. So, I had some Reggie Collects, okay, Delicate, Handle with Care, stickers waiting for me whenever I got home. Ordered some books. Let's see, I was telling you about the Gung Ho variants, okay, I've already showed you those. I've got a few more. Okay, so, here is the Virgin cover, the Reggie Collects variant. Here's 2 copies. Here is another one. This was a gift from Master Blaster for being named a Blue Wrench on the Reggie Collects YouTube channel. And honestly, guys, if you, most of the people that watch these videos that you follow Reggie Collects, if you don't, you are missing out. He puts out great content on a regular basis. Here is a 1, and I think it's a 1 in 10 variant. I have 2 copies of this 1 in 10 variant cover. And this is for my son Spencer. He wanted one, and it says on there, Spencer, welcome to the Gibbon Gang. It's personalized. I don't think he'll mind me showing his comics. But anyhow, remember I told you about one of my favorite covers of all time? The Jim Steranko cover? I like it so much. He had a CGC signing, an in-house signing earlier this summer. I sent off a book to be signed, and look at that beautiful signature right there. And it came back. I really kind of, I feel funny about these labels. They're $5. Do I need to spend $5 on a label? I don't know. I'm not that person. It's all about glitz and glam, but it does make it look sharp. So I kind of dig the little labels. Is it a money grab at CGC? You betcha. But you know what? I still kind of like it. So I don't know about going forward if I'm going to keep getting them or not. I don't know if it's worth it. Who knows? Maybe a key book I might. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But this is a book that I've been wanting on my list for a long time. This is Darth Vader #3, not the current series. This series came out, I believe, 2015. Forgive me if I can tell you right now. Haha! May 2015, I was right. 9.8. The first appearance of Dr. Aphra. And I only know one person that's a bigger fan of Dr. Aphra than me. And I'm sure there are bigger fans, don't get me wrong. This is my son. I got him one too, so that's actually a birthday present / I've been away for 2 months present. You know. Anyhow, I picked up free Comic Book Day 9.8 copy of Spider-Man 2020. This is what they are calling the first appearance of Virus, which 2020, they could not have named a villain with a better name than Virus. So 2020, shout out to you. Yeah, when's it going to end? Here's a book picked up. First appearance of the Goblin King, Death Metal, Legend of the Dark Knights. #1, 9.8. I put this on YouTube before. Okay, love this cover. Silver Surfer #4. I put this one on here. Sorry, I thought I had a different book. These are books I picked up while I was away. Conan #3. So, anyhow, guys, hey, thanks for watching. This is actually a pretty long unboxing video, but hey, it was pretty enjoyable for me because I got to come home. Finally, I love being home, and I got to see a lot of comic books. So, all right, if you guys have any questions, please put them down in the comments. If you like this video, please like it. Help the YouTube algorithm. And if you're not a subscriber right now, please subscribe. All right, thanks so much.